You're listening to Street Life, a podcast about street photography with John ST and Mark Davidson.
You're listening to Street Life. I'm Mark Davidson, a street photographer from Melbourne, Australia, and with me, my boy, Mr. John ST, street shooter from Sydney. How you doing, mate?
I'm doing really well, thanks, Mark. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
Man, we're doing something different today. There's no guests. It's just us two Muppets.
Don't tune out, though. It's going to be interesting. Trust me.
People have already switched off. They're like, fuck it.
Don't want to hear these Muppets chat.
It's going to be shit out. It's going to be knocking Sonys again.
Oh, boy. How have you been? What's been happening?
Oh, well, I'm working for a living.
Mm-hmm.
That's been a bit tough, you know what I mean? So, got to keep the lights on, food on the table, buy new cameras and stuff. But other than that, just doing a few things. Went out and saw a head-on exhibition, Gavin Labotte, on Sunday.
Yes.
Very, very nice stuff. Very nice.
Lovely lad. How's the exhibition?
Lovely.
Yep.
Really, really good. Yeah. It's at the Combe Gallery or something in Paddington.
Comer Street.
Comer Street. There you go. Thanks for that. You'd know because you run Aussie Street there, didn't you, Mark?
No, you should know. You're a local Sydney sider, John. All the galleries up there, and
I don't enter competitions or anything like that, Mark. I don't win shit.
now for our one international listener, I'm sure he or she is out there. What's head on?
It's a photo competition from Sydney.
What's a photo festival? Isn't it?
Know. Oh, it's a photo festival, yeah. I don't know, Mark. I don't enter it.
It's not. You don't have to enter it. You went.
No, I went to see Gavin. And support Gavin, and it was a great turnout.
Fantastic.
By all the Sydney street photographers came out to support Gavin. So, yeah, which work was very nice. But, very interesting. I got talking to a dude there who was a Leica shooter. Mm-hmm. I think his name was Peter, got introduced. Mm-hmm. And he said, come down here. Half of these photos have been taken by a Nikon, and the other half have been taken by a Leica. And I went, okay, I'll be able to tell the difference. He went, I bet you can't.
Oh, challenge accepted. How'd you go?
Yeah, it was like getting slapped in the face with a glove. Gloves were off. I said, all right, let's go and have a look. I said, I bet I can tell you. So I went through, and I only got one wrong.
Nice.
Yeah, he couldn't believe it. I said, how have I done? I said, Nikon, Leica, Nikon, Leica, Nikon, Leica. I said, how have I done? He went, literally got one wrong.
That's your superpower, Mark. That's amazing.
Wow. If I was going to pick superpowers, that would not be it, Mark.
You stunned him. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I slapped him in the face with a wet fish, mate. Take that like a man. Boof. Bosh.
Oh, boy. Oh,
yeah.
Wow, way.
He said, how did you do it? I said, I don't know. I just
superpower.
Feel.
It does have that sort of beautiful, creamy, expensive look to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I could see that in the prints, Mark. I thought this has definitely been taken by a $20,000 camera. Yep, definitely. That was it. That's what I was using my measurement on. All the physics in the world and the mathematics and all of that. And I went, does it look cheap or does it not? Look, the Nikon shots were beautiful too.
Yeah, of course.
They really were. They were really, really nice.
But Nikon gets a bad rap, doesn't it?
Yeah, well,
I started life on a Nikon. I didn't have a bit of a soft spot for them.
Yeah, so did I. I think everybody starts there, but they just don't stick around.
Move on.
Street cred. It's like, getting your first car in an Escort Mark 1 or something like that, which are worth a lot of money now. Yeah. You go, well, this was nice, and then you move up, don't you?
Mm.
They're very much more landscape and
yes, definitely.
And you know what? When you go to events and stuff, you'll see all the old school event shooters. They've all got Nikons.
Yeah, with the yellow straps and all that.
Yeah.
You had a fight with one, didn't you? A Nikon shooter at a protest, I heard. Some fisticuffs on the street, I've been told.
I was out with the boys.
Yeah.
We're heading over to see Gav's exhibition, and I got into a bit of a la-di-da with some bloody Nikon photojournalist ponce.
Wow,
who had a bit of a crack at me. Yeah. So we were heading through. There was a Palestinian protest, which are happening all over the country, and in huge numbers.
Yes.
Terrible thing, but people are out in support. And I just happened to come across a group of people, had a protest, right in the middle of it all.
Mm-hmm.
Stuck my camera up, took a photo. And this dude just turned on me and said, "What the fuck are you doing?"
What?
And I was like, what's the problem? And then I realized he had a really big lens on, and a Nikon. And I went, he said, I'm trying to set this shot up, mate.
Oh,
Don't
no.
ruin it.
Oh,
I was
dear.
like, I'm really, really sorry. Do apologize. I honestly didn't see you there. And then he just turned real snarky and said, "That's what everybody says."
Oh dear. Red rag to a bull. John. Oh boy.
Litmus paper lit. I was like a banger on Guy Fawkes night, mate. Bang.
Oh,
Went
no.
off in his he lit that and he didn't expect it to go off in his face. I just launched it and bang,
What'd you say?
I gave him a verbal.
Oh boy.
Give him a verbal. Yeah. Who the hell do you think you are, mate? You don't own the joint. You know what I mean? You're in a bloody protest. I didn't see you. I apologised. I was sorry. I didn't get in your way. Like, pull your head in, you numbnut.
John, you're at a peace protest, Peace and love.
I know. You could see the people waving in the back. Give peace a chance.
Oh no.
And then I went off like a grenade.
Oh dear.
I stunned him. Yeah, he didn't know what to say. He just went real quiet. He could have probably knocked me out. He was about 6'2" with 6'2", tattooed to the eyeballs.
Oh god.
He just went real quiet and thought, "Oh god, I've got a firecracker here." But yeah, I hate it. Has that ever happened to you, Mark?
No, not especially. I mean, I think I was told to get out of the way. I was shooting some union protest a couple of years ago, and a serious photojournalist, making a living, was getting. He told me to get out of the way, which I guess maybe is fair enough because I'm sort of there just to document it rather than.
Come on, Mark. Come on.
Well, you're going to should have kicked off.
Stop being so PC, Mark. Come on. Come on, step out of that comfort bubble. Come on, mate. Come on, join us.
Should have said, "Fucking walk around, mate."
You should have said, "I'm Mark Davidson. Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? Do you know how many competitions I've won?
Oh, don't.
Do you know how many prizes I have at home that I don't use?"
Stop it. He's probably got more. Anyway, what are your thoughts on photographing protests such as these at the moment?
Oh, I've only done a few. I did one during COVID when the anti-vaxxers were going.
Yep.
Was all happening. There was big protests for that. That was interesting. I don't really photograph protests, but I think it's a really good place to cut your teeth.
Yeah.
If you want to get used to like getting close and photographing people and framing up, and because you've got a lot of opportunities to photograph and people are more open to being photographed at these things, and I think you can also practice with your composition and your layering and all those things. So yeah. Mm-hmm. And plus, it's also good to document. I know there was, I don't know, hundreds. It was a huge event in Sydney at Hyde Park. I'm sure I saw lots of photographers there that weren't photojournalists, that were street photographers or just documentary type photographers or amateurs giving it a go. And I think it's good to go. It gets you in amongst it all. It helps you build relationships and chat to people and, And that camera's a good. I got talking to lots of nice people there about what was going on and
for sure.
their thoughts on it, and it was all because I just had a camera. I could have been standing there and they wouldn't have had a conversation, but because I took their photo, and I was very open about it. I just stuck it, as you do, put it right in their face and take a photo. But like I said, they're a lot more open to it because they're at a protest and they think that it's going to be shared on social media and it'll get their story out there. So yeah, there were some people who weren't really that keen, but and they shied away, and you've got to respect that. And,
definitely, yeah.
And there's plenty of other people to photograph at a protest, mate, and there's plenty of people that want to be photographed at a protest. They want to be seen. How about you?
No, I think I agree. And look, if it is personal work, you're not necessarily going to publish it anyway. You may not. That's the choice you're going to have to make. But it is good to have witnessed it and have those photos in your archive, because you never know when you may need them one day. If you continue on with photography 5-10 years and you were there to witness these events at this time, I think it's a good thing to have. And as you say, it builds your skills. You're not necessarily going out there to, post photos on Instagram for likes or anything, but it's good to be out in the world and document the world around you. So I think it's definitely a good thing to do.
And I think we just take it for granted because, it is a historical thing.
Yeah.
Martin Parr mentioned this during his interview, that he regretted not actually photographing the miners' strike.
That's right. Yeah.
More.
Yes, he did.
So during the 80s with in Thatcher Britain. And, I lived through that and experienced part of that. And that was just a missed opportunity for him. And he regrets it because it was such a big thing. He just didn't have time, didn't think it would be that important. So you don't really have any idea how important something's going to be until later down the track. And that's why we all look at, and we're going to be talking about stuff like this later. You look at what the greats photographed and you look back at it with such, longing and look at the wonderful things that they captured. But at the time, it was all very in the moment. It's only now that we look back at it 30, 40, 50 years on that it is just like a snapshot in time.
That's right. Absolutely. I've just been burning through film like a maniac recently. I've had to remortgage my house. Probably in a few months I'll be out on the street living under a tree or something. But I've been shooting a hell of a lot recently. But I haven't been posting. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. But I've just been shooting for myself, the last couple of months. And Anita and my wife and I, we even went on a road trip around the Wimmera in regional Victoria. And I just shot some sort of country country townscapes and some more landscape stuff. Just loving it, absolutely loving it at the moment. So it's been really fun. So yeah, I'm sort of really enjoying my photography at the moment. It's been good. Did you post some of those up on your stories on Instagram, or was it actually on a post? Yeah, I saw them. It looked great, Mark. Yeah. No, I've just been having fun, and no, I'm just really enjoying it. But sort of haven't been sharing it, which is I don't quite understand why I haven't. It's because Instagram's shit, Mark. Yeah, maybe that's the reason. There's no point in sharing it when only 5 people see it. We've spoken to so many guests on this program about sort of projects and having a bit more of a goal in mind when you go out on the streets, and I've sort of been thinking a little bit more about that recently. So yeah, just sort of just having fun with it and building towards something that may have more of a life in the future. So who knows where that'll end up, but who knows, Mark? And it might be just like when you went to Hong Kong and you grabbed a couple of shots and then you stuck them in another competition, just off the whim. And you win it again. You win it again, Mark. Just, a couple of snapshots, happy snaps in Hong Kong, whack them in. A bit like Stephen DuPont, really. I love Hong Kong. I've got some fucked up photos. I chucked them in and now I've got a book. You know what I mean? Like, none of the photos worked out. They're all shit, but, they all come out looking great. Oh, I'm looking forward to that book, actually. Can I just ask a question? Because you've got an M6 Leica, haven't you? I do, yes, I do. And that's what all the cool hipster young girls have. All of them got them, mate. Everybody. And people like you have pushed the price up for everyday folk that they can't afford one now. I know. You know what I mean? Sort of Marmaduke on the street can't afford one anymore because they're so expensive. I know, you're right. I think that's the case with all film cameras at the moment. Yep. I think Anita wanted to get this little Nikon. I forget the model number. I can't. It's sort of it escapes me. But yeah, they used to go for like $2 bob, but now they're like $300-400. It's like the price is just insane of all these cameras at the moment. Pentax 6.7, medium format. If you want to get into medium format shooting as well, they're like a couple grand. It's like I know it's a little bit fashionable at the moment. People such as, YouTubers and all this are pushing up prices of cameras and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I'm partly to blame. I'm guilty as well. I bought mine for, I think, it was $3 or $4 I think. So it's a lot of money. You bought it in Japan, didn't you? Yeah. Got it from Japan. It's a little beast. Memory. I love it. Yeah. I love it. Yeah. Now I'm going to ask a question because okay. I'm ready. You ready for this? Yeah. God, I said like do. Are you ready for this? Pictorialist, who I work with a group of people on there. Yeah, they're Pictorialist. Awesome. Yeah. Now, a few of the ladies, they're shooting film, yeah? Mm-hmm. Likers, right? Yeah. Having a bit of a whinge about how much film is, blah, 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 blah. Yeah? Yeah. Super expensive. Very expensive. Yeah. Plus, and then if you can't develop it yourself, the development costs. Mm-hmm. Now, I had a question, right? Yes. So, I was winding them up, I just put the bait into the water, a little bit of blood to see what the sharks would say. Coming on. I'm getting nervous. Got over shit stirrer. Yeah. I said, so you go out and you buy film for a mega amount of money, and then you go and develop it,
and then you scan it
Oh, you
and make it a digital
digitize
image.
it. I know.
You make it a digital image, which you then share on a digital platform. Why don't you just cut straight to the chase and save yourself a crap load of money, spend it on a wonderful holiday to actually go and photograph something decent,
And shoot digital.
Well, and
if you allow me, John, can I just get up for a moment?
Oh.
My ass crack will come out. So hang on, just turn away from a sec.
You don't want to see that, people. I got to see it earlier. Horrendous. Put that crack away.
All right. So I do have my negatives here, John.
Oh, look. I don't want to be negative. Oh, there we go.
No, I have been.
Oh, look at that.
Yes.
That's a nice folder. I haven't seen them since the 80s. That's great. Do you get that out of a dumpster?
I spent the weekend, getting all my negatives and archiving and stuff. It's been good. So I have them. I don't have the digital copies. So yeah,
that's great. That's good. And you know what? I caught up with Hooman and Dan the cameraman for a coffee on the weekend, and they were doing the same thing. They were standing in the coffee shop holding up their negatives to the light to look at them. And so you know what I did? I got my camera and I said, "Look at my negatives. Look at that one." Oh,
did you get your SD card out?
I just flicked through the pictures. Look at that picture there. It's amazing. Hold on. I hold it up to the light so you can see it a bit better. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Megabucks.
Do BGS Funk and Humans shoot film?
Hooman has just bought a camera, or he's using somebody else's camera. He's looking to buy an M6, just like you other junkies. You're all the same. Bloody drinking the freaking Kool-Aid. And I know Ben has probably got a film camera. I don't know if it's a Leica, but he's got a film camera, I think. All the cool kids do. It's just me. But so that is my question mark. What is the point? Now, I spoke to Hooman, right? And he said, it's about the process. It's about slowing down and just taking it easy, enjoying it. I went, well, just put your camera on a 10-second timer. Do you know what I mean? Like, just time yourself so you don't take 1,000 photos. Look, into Leica, they don't fire off rapid that quick anyway, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
I'm going to bring out a Leica app that just literally turn your digital Leica into a film Leica with this 10-second delay.
Look, for me, it's definitely not about slowing down, because you can slow down on digital as well. There's nothing preventing you from don't have to shoot on burst mode. You don't have to hold the shutter button down. You can shoot one frame at a time. It's not about that. I definitely think it's about the look of black and white film. For me, I really like that. And the scanning of it, it's good to have a digital copy. As I said, 5 or 10 minutes ago, I haven't really been sharing work anyway. It is good to have that on file in Lightroom, but also have the negatives as well. So I think if I didn't scan it, it would be a little bit hard, because I'm not printing all my work anyway. I don't have a darkroom in my little flat here in Melbourne. But it's Well,
if Knox Birdie can create a darkroom in his tiny, look, it's Sydney, so I'm assuming his house isn't huge.
You don't know. He could have 2 acres or something. Who knows what?
If he's got 2 acres, I want to be his mate. If he's got 2 acres in inner Sydney, he's a rich man. I don't think he'd be teaching anymore if he did. But anyway, yeah. But I did speak to one person at Parke, another Sydney photographer, who said he's shooting film as well. But he said for him, it's more about, because he goes and processes it himself.
Yes.
And it's working in the dark room, and it's watching the image develop and see it come alive, and then hanging it up and watching all the magic happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then I can understand the attraction to film. Yeah.
Yep.
If it's the whole process. And Knox Birdie's the same. He loves developing his film, and, he goes and listens to our podcast when he's developing. So he says. And, and podcasts and music and stuff, and it's all part of the process. He goes in there and he just disappears. I can understand that, but just to go and shoot film, to send it off to a lab, to come back and then get digitized and then put it on social media. I really am scratching my head wondering.
Yeah. With the cost of film and developing, you're right. It sort of doesn't really make much sense, but there is that look that can't be replicated. And look, I still shoot digital too. 90% of my Hong Kong stuff is digital. So if I literally took thousands and thousands of shots in Hong Kong. So if I did that all on film, I would literally be broke. So yeah, you got to be pragmatic, definitely. But no, you're right. And people shoot film for different reasons. I think I love shooting on the Leica M6. It makes me want to go out and shoot in Melbourne. And when a camera makes you want to pick it up and go out and shoot, I don't think that's a bad thing. So it's it's got me out on the streets, which is good.
All right. I hear this a lot. From people. It makes me want to pick it up and go out and shoot. Right?
It does.
Oh, and I've got my finger like a gun. Shouldn't do that. What? But what about it, Mark? Makes you want to go out there. Why can't you get that feeling?
Have you seen one?
About the X Pro 3 numerous times. You said it's a beautiful camera. You've even said on the podcast, I think it's the perfect street photography camera.
Oh, the X Pro 3.
The X Pro 3.
Yeah, no, I like that too.
What is the difference between going out with the X Pro 3 that makes you want to go out and take photos and film? I'm being genuine here. I'm not being, well...
You are being a little, sort of niggly, just giving me a few uppercuts and stuff.
Yeah. I'm just pushing the envelope, Matt. I want to know, because people say this shit all the time. It just makes me want to go out and photograph.
Do you want me to convince you? Is that what you're looking for, an excuse to buy a Leica M6? I can tell, John. You just want to be brought over the line.
I think the great Don Stevie said.
Oh no. He said a lot of things, Don.
He did say. We're name dropping all the people on the podcast. The great Don Stevie did say, I lived through all of that and I don't need to go back.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know what I mean?
Too, yeah.
And that's how I feel. It's all you young cool kids have gone back to film.
And vinyl. And, cassettes will come back next.
Yeah, good luck with that. I just chucked all my cassettes in the bin to come to Sydney. I literally got them out the loft and threw them all in the bin. Anyway, I should have sold them to you.
Nah,
this young generation hunting down.
I went into JB Hi-Fi the other day, and there are.
Did you?
Yeah, there are far more records in there than CDs. It's incredible. People are really embracing analog, aren't they? It's mental.
I grew up buying records, and I progressed to CDs, but there's something about vinyl. It just feels special.
Well, there you go. That's the same as film.
No, it's not.
Oh.
Because it doesn't cost me any more than initially
Are you
buying a
serious?
CD.
Records are $60 to $80.
Yeah, because you are all muppets now. You've all pushed the price up just like you had with your Leicas. They weren't that price when I was a young kid,
I
mate.
don't have a turntable, so don't ever got me over that. I use the Spotify.
2 turntables and a microphone. That's what we should have called this thing. Oh, everybody uses Spotify.
Yeah.
I use it. I don't buy anything anymore. I used to buy all my music. I brought nearly 1,000 CDs with me to Sydney, which I haven't played.
No,
I don't even have anything to play them on anymore because I sold all my audiophile gear to come here. So anyway, so right, that's it. Are you going to go into the dark room? Are you going to learn the skills?
Definitely. I think so. Definitely next year. Yeah. I'd love to. I should be processing my own film, and I'd like to learn how to print as well. So yeah, that's something for me to work on. At the moment, I'm doing most of the stuff in the lab. It's just obviously more convenient. Obviously it comes with a cost as well. But yeah, you're right. You do have a point. You're just taking all these shots, you're putting them on Lightroom in a digital form anyway. What's the point? But it does come back to that look that I don't think you can replicate with a digital camera. As much as I love the Fuji X Pro 3, I shoot on that a lot. And there are circumstances where I don't shoot on the Leica, such as at night, things like that. But, if I'm out there shooting, what's the harm?
That's right. But it's people like you that have got this is dead seriously, Mark. It's people like you that's causing...
You young rapscallions.
Causing mortgage holders for the Australian Reserve Bank to keep putting up mortgage rates because the cost of living crisis, because you lot are going, I've got a bit of cash. Oh, film. Who cares about food?
So you're
just buying more food. You're just fueling the economy with the high prices.
So me and my brethren shooting Leicas are causing inflationary pressures in Australia. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do my thesis on. And how the film Renaissance killed
the economy.
Normal families, working class families are struggling because you film shooters. That's what it is.
Now,
But anyway, well, that's good. I'm glad you're liking it.
now listen, John.
Yes, mate.
Christmas is coming up.
Christmas is.
Yeah, so, if people's missus or their hubby or their mum or their dad or the kids or whatever, they, ask you what you'd like for Christmas, we can help, can't we? We're going to talk photo books.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, buy me a Sony with a global shutter.
No. So they might say, what do you want for
Photo
Christmas?
books.
And you go,
Yep.
we're going to give you some tips, aren't we? And look, a lot of our people listening to this will have some of these photo books. We put it out on Instagram. We've got a huge response. So thank you to everyone. They send in their favourite photo books or photo books they'd like to have. And we've picked some of our favourites to go through today briefly, haven't we?
We have, Mark. We have. Do you want it? Is this going to be a show and tell, Mark? Well, we've all seen I've seen your crack. You know what I mean? So
We've done that. Yeah.
I don't want to see anything else. That was far too personal. I don't know how Anita puts up with that, but anyway.
What about a photo project, Builder's Cracks? That'd be interesting because,
I think Jesse's already got that on the boil.
well,
I think Jesse Marlow's already. I think you probably just ruined that for him. He's like, shit.
Stephen Leslie Dead Elbows. I'm going to do Builder's Cracks.
Actually, I don't think I've seen a book on that.
Yeah, there you go.
The Crack on the Street. Street Crack by Mark Davidson. And it won't be through a pipe. It'll just be like, actually, I'm a marketing genius. Street Crack.
Oh, dear.
By M. Davidson. Yeah, do it.
All right. I'm going to start that one.
Yeah, good. Good. There's plenty of cracks around in Australia. I'm sure there's plenty in Melbourne too, mate.
Oh, yeah.
You'll have an abundance of material. You'll have like volume 10. Sydney crack. The crack epidemic.
That's right. The crack epidemic.
Oh my God. Yeah, do it. I reckon that'd be great.
Oh, boy. All right, who wants to start? Do you want to start?
Oh, go on, Mark. You go first.
What?
You do your show and tell, mate. What are you gonna crack out? Anyway, go on.
All right. Well, I have mentioned this one on the podcast before briefly, but I'm just going to bring it up again. People, Chris Killip, Seacoal.
Oh, yes.
You would like this one, John, taken in the north of England. Very beautiful, beautiful work. Chris Killip, magnificent photographer, photographing people on the beach, picking up coal from the sea, which is magnificent. And he was chased off the beach a couple of times by these people who thought he was there to spy on them and whatnot. It's a great story, amazing photos. I recommend people. It's available. Go and look it up. Chris Killip, Seacoal. Go and get it for Christmas.
All right. So this is a photographer that I came across, and I don't know how I didn't know about him because he's a Magnum photographer.
Yeah.
And a few people have mentioned it and have brought it up when you put up the question about what your favorite photo book was. And I've fallen in love with this book, and I've got a bit of a man crush on Matt Black.
Oh, American Geography.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And I don't know how I came across it. I think I might have come across something on Reels or something. But I think there's somebody who's doing documentary on photographers, and Matt Black was one of them. And the work is phenomenal. But it's not just his photographs are amazing. If you listen to Matt, and there's quite a bit, Matt's done quite a bit on YouTube, done quite a few interviews. If you listen to how he talks about his subject matter and what he's done and what he's photographed, you can hear how connected and the emotion, emotion he has in these photos, and how important it is to him and what it means to him. And it's basically highlighting the poverty in modern America.
Okay.
And
It's
highly, it's phenomenal. Really, really good book.
well,
I love it.
Unplugged Photo on Instagram also recommends American Geography, so shout out to him as well. I'd like to get that book. It looks amazing.
It's stunning, and it's a beautiful book too. And it wasn't too expensive.
It's sort of a survey of the whole country almost, isn't it? He did a bit of a trip around the states and photographed. Is that right?
No, it was mainly in the farming areas of California.
Right.
And about how we're in the 20 odd century or whatever, and there's people still working for below the minimum wage on cotton farms and on orange orchards and things like that, and about how the Mexican community's been exploited. But then he did that as to show, and California, everyone thinks California is this big sort of, progressive state in America and, cutting edge, but there's a dark side to it. And I think that's what he wanted to photograph. But then he followed on to the history of that. And he actually went, the Mexican people who were there, they came from a particular town in Mexico. And he actually went and documented that too. So highly recommend it. Matt Black, The American Geography.
Beautiful. Add it to the list.
And it is a beautiful book. It's really, really nice. So that's one of my favorites, and I really cherish it. I'm really happy I came across Matt Black. And I've contacted him to come on the podcast, but I haven't heard from him.
Oh, come on, Matt.
I haven't heard from him. Yeah, come on, Matt. Pull your finger out, Matt. Matt Black, pull your finger out.
Now, my second one. A lot of people will have this already, but I think it's a great, great book. Real variety of work. Super good, amazing photos. Women street photographers. So,
yes.
Have you seen this?
I've seen it, but I haven't. I've seen it out and about, and I think I've looked at it in the Sydney bookstore. I forgot what it's called. It's got a great collection of on George Street there. And that's a photograph from one of the people that we interviewed, isn't it?
Yes, it is. So we have interviewed a number of these photographers that are included in the book, like Betty Go, Julia Coddington, BJ Levine, whose photo on the front
is
cover.
On the front cover,
yes.
BJ, that's right, yes.
Melissa O'Shaughnessy, plus some of my mates from Australia. So we got Ushi Grant, we got Kirsty Greenland, Catherine Matters from Melbourne, heaps of people, Lou Gilbert. So amazing body of work put together by Gulnara Samoilova. I probably slaughtered her name, apologies.
That's Women's Street Photography or something that she runs out on Instagram.
So look, many people listening already know about this. It's on Prestel Publishing. Go out and pick it up. It's really good.
Is it megabucks, Mark? Is it limited
I don't think
edition
so. I think
now
it was
or what?
80 Australian dollars, I think, from memory, something like that. It was. It's affordable and it's amazing.
Lovely. That's very nice. It's very nice, Mark. And it's colour. And interesting, nearly all of my books that I picked up,
black and white.
Black and white.
Okay.
Anyway, another book that I got that I was really happy that I got, and I bought it early in the piece, is Friction, Tokyo Street by Tatsuya Suzuki.
Oh, I want that one.
It's very hard to get now, Mark.
I know. I missed out.
And I got it I got it real cheap. I think it cost me about $120, and that included delivery all the way from Germany. And it is absolutely fabulous. It is such a nice book. It really, really is. I look at it a lot. And this is the interesting thing about Tatsuya, he does portraits, which is
street portraits. Yeah, he does. Yeah.
He does street portraits of wonderful one. He also does, candid stuff as well, really well. But stunning book. It really is, and the quality of it is top notch.
Yeah, I'd like to see if I
highly
can find
recommend
a
it.
copy of that.
Didn't get it.
I have to troll through eBay and see if there's.
But it's a lot of money now, Mark.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, I'll stop shooting film for a while and try and
just
buy one.
for a week, and you can probably afford 10 of them.
All right. Moving on. So.
And I think it's important to look at photo books because that's where you get inspired.
Absolutely. If you're if you're in a bit of a rut or whatever, and you're not feeling it at the moment, pick up a photo book and see what others have done in the past, and it might spur you on to jump out the door and go and shoot. Who knows?
But it also helps you look at, because we all look at Instagram, but you know how
fuck that.
Well, Instagram's just pushing the same old shit to you all the time, So we're going back in time now, and we have to go back to books. And what I find interesting about them is learning how to frame up and how they see the world. It gives you a different perspective of how somebody else would see something. Yeah. And that's what I really enjoy, because you see an angle, or you see a reflection, or you see something how it's being photographed, and you go, why didn't I look at it like that?
Yeah.
It's the same scene, And I get that from people going out and shooting with them. But photo books in particular are hugely beneficial. So what's your next one?
They're the best teachers, you're right. Look, why not bring up this? Many people will have it again. Sorry, I know, because a lot of the photo books that we love are unavailable, and it's hard to get some of the ones we're mentioning today. This one is available. Trent Parke's Minutes to Midnight. Yeah, so obviously a lot of people know. Yeah, so Monument
local boy
just come out, which I know you've got, and Dream Life is hard to get, again, expensive. This one is available if people want to go out and look at Trent's work, but I'm sure everyone listening knows and loves his stuff. What a book. This is just, it's, he's taken a trip around the country with his family and his wife. He's got some shots in the city, but also in rural Australia, which is beautiful.
Yep.
I just think it's an absolutely brilliant, inspiring, magnificent body of work. So yeah, go out and get that one too. Black and white, which you'll like, John.
Yeah, I do. And following on from that,
Trent
Parke Monument, which is, it's beautiful. Leather. It almost looks like, a preacher's Bible. And this is what it is. This is a street photographer's Bible.
Yeah.
And you know what? We all know how good Trent and Narelle are, but this is Trent's book. And we all know that they're photographed together. And you're absolutely right. I would say, if not all of these photos were photographed on film.
Mm-hmm.
And they're film shots, I think. I pretty much think they are, because they're from, I think it was over 20 odd years this book goes back. And you can see how good film is. There is definitely a different feel to it.
Oh.
Not a feel, but a look to it,
I see.
It's definitely. But also, these are printed. These are printed images, look at them. Trent, you think he took these 25 years ago, longer. He was so on point. He was ahead of his time.
It's pretty good.
You know what?
Sorry.
No, and the good thing about this book is that it's just come out now. It's getting hard to get, but they are doing a second edition. But what I like about it most when I look through it is not just because the images are amazing and how Trent sees the world and captures it is amazing. But I live in Sydney, where majority of this was photographed. And it's so interesting to see how he's photographed an area that we all walk through in Sydney all of the time. And when people say there's nothing else to photograph, well, Trent's done it. Do you know what I mean? Highly recommend this book. It's so nice. And I went to see Trent at the opening because he had an exhibition here a few months ago, and I got to see the man in person.
Oh, lucky you.
Yeah, I know. And he signed it.
You fanboyed him. Look at you.
Yeah, I did. He's another person I tapped to do the podcast.
Oh.
But he said he wouldn't do it until Narelle does it, and we've tapped Narelle as well. So if you're listening, Narelle, pull your finger out and talk to us.
Oh no, all this inside baseball, John. Oh, listen to you.
Oh my God. Anyway.
Well, I've ordered that book too. Hopefully it'll arrive.
How long have you been waiting now?
So I got the second edition, not the first. I don't think they haven't sent them out yet. So hopefully it'll arrive and be in my stocking in time for Christmas.
Oh, your stocking. Listen to you.
Now, lastly.
Oh, you've got Lashley. Okay, yeah.
Sorry. Well,
go on. No.
Look, second, lastly, really quick shout out. We've had him on the podcast. He's a great bloke. We all love him. Jesse Marlow's Second City. I love this book.
Jesse.
I go back to this book all the time. I flip through it almost weekly. I just love it. Obviously, I'm from Melbourne. Speaks to me a lot, this book. Highly inspirational for me. Quick shout out to Jesse there. You can get Second City everywhere. But what about this, John?
Oh, Reclaim the Street.
Reclaim the Street.
Yes.
What a good Christmas present this would be.
That would be amazing, Mark. Didn't you promise me a copy of that? You did, didn't you? Still haven't seen it, you tight ass.
Well, if you're a good boy.
Oh, I'm looking off Santa. Jesus, he's going to be weighed down carrying that tomb around, isn't he? Look at that.
Now, Matt Stewart, again, we had a chat to him about this earlier
Yes,
in
Matt
the year.
Stewart. Another big plug for the podcast.
This is a compendium of street photographers across the world. Lots and lots of names in there, lots of amazing work. If you just love street photography, you want to get a bit of variety, Matt Stuart and Steve McLaren have done an amazing work putting this together. It's a heavy tome, but go out and buy it because, there's so much to look at. You need a couple of sittings to get through it all. It's
You do. And you're in it. You're in it, aren't you, Mark?
Oh, am I?
Yeah. Oh. What a plug. This episode is sponsored by Mark Davidson.
And Reclaim the Streets. So, yes. If
you're in that.
Yeah.
Obviously, the algorithm went against me because I didn't end up in it.
I hear it. You'll be.
Matt said he only contacted people who we thought were really good to go in it, and I wasn't.
Oh, don't start. You'll be in Reclaim the Street again, the second edition.
Yeah, I'll be in the Sydney crack.
You might be. The crack epidemic.
I think that's got a nice ring to it. Oh, ring. Ooh, anyway.
Jesus.
All right, I've got...
Last one, come on.
Last one for me, right? And the last one for me, and this is the very first photo book that I got. And when I started getting into photography, I would go to the library and I'd borrow a lot of... If you go to the old school again, go to the library, you'll be amazed what you can find in there. They often have amazing books.
Yeah.
And the very first photo book that I got was a Gary Winogrand book.
Oh, which one's that?
This one is called... I don't know. Let's have a look.
Looks like a retrospective.
Gary Winogrand. Yeah, I don't know. It's just called Gary Winogrand. Oh, and my wife bought it for me for my 50th, I think. Yeah, my 50th birthday, which was a little while ago. I want to give it away. Jesus, I look good for 50, don't I, Mark?
You
go
do?
On, say it. I do.
I thought you were 28.
Stop it.
It's a big fucking thing. You could use that as a weapon if an intruder.
I'll take it around and carry it in a bag. So if I have any photojournalists, I could be shit as spacking with that. So
that looks lovely. I don't have any of Gary Winogrand's books, which I should. So maybe maybe this year.
Nah, yeah. Lisa got this. This is her first edition for me, and it's she got it all the way from Ireland.
Oh,
so yeah, it's very precious to me for that. But Gary Winogrand shoots very differently to me, and I love what he does. I just love Gary Winogrand. I love him. I wish he hadn't passed away. I'd try to get him on the podcast for sure. Yeah. He's one of my all-time favorites. I just love him.
Good. Yeah, he's amazing. He's
stellar.
Stellar. Yeah. No.
Another person that shot a lot of film, and then in his later years couldn't afford to get developed. Found it all in a drawer.
I know. Couldn't afford to just CBF. Just like the process and not the actual photos. Yeah. Good on you.
That's basically where I've got to, Mark, as well. I just take photos and I like the process of going out and taking photos, and I haven't really been looking. I'm just starting to go through them now. Now I'm back at work. I'm like, when I had all that time to do it, I didn't do it, and now I'm starting to go through it. And it's really good to look back and say, wow, starting to find some really nice shots that I took that I'm really happy with, that I just put on a drive and just forgot about because I like the process of going out and finding them. Yeah. That's the fun for me. Posting on Instagram is part of it, you know what I mean? I just post old stuff now. I haven't developed anything or post-processed much recently. And I just like the process of going out and making a photo and going, that's nice.
Yeah. It's jolly good to hear. You haven't lost the passion for it. It's lovely.
No, I haven't, Mark. I'm surprised, actually. I really do like it. So I'm photographing around the uni in my lunch break and that now. So just, again, very small area and trying to look through the photo books to get ideas of how I can photograph and how I can see things. And yeah.
Well, we've been prattling on for a long time. Just really quickly, we asked people listening on Instagram if they wanted to recommend some of their favourite books. I'll just whip through a couple if that's all right.
Yeah.
So Adri Prato. Now, this is a book I wish I had. I might look it up after this recording and see if it's still available. Ravens by Masahisa Fukasi, Japanese photographer. I saw his
heard about this.
Yeah, I saw his work when I was in Tokyo. Stunning. I'd love that book too. That looks awesome. Johnny Dub, who we've had on the podcast, another plug. Here we go. Subway by Bruce Davidson. I think
No relation?
No. Well, my daddy's name's Bruce, but no, it's not.
Is it really?
Yeah.
How Aussie is that? Anyway, go on.
Chris Harrison, another guest.
Yes.
Melting Point by Jeff Jacobson. Must admit, I don't know that one. But
Don't know that one, but we might check it out.
Might check it out. Now, what else? Matthew Toll said Dream Life by Trent Parke, yes. Now, this came up a lot. Tom Pitt's Photography said Alex Webb, The Suffering of Light.
I have that one too.
I have that book. It's incredible.
Stunning.
Yeah, it's
stunning stuff.
Probably the most popular photo book out there, or street photography photo book out there, maybe even. It's an awesome body of work. A lot of people said that. Moment Decisive said Ouija's Naked City. Really interesting. I read his biography on Ouija, which is, do you know Ouija's work? No,
I've heard the name, but I'm not sure. If you were to show me a picture, I might know the image and go, oh, right, okay. But I can't, off the top of my noggin, come up with, I can't put it together because I'm,
Yeah, he used to sort of be a crime photographer. He used to go and just photograph overnight and rock up to scenes and.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, it was
interesting
good
stuff.
Yeah, definitely. And Lang Un 312 said Michael Kenner's Hokkaido, which would be great. Joseph Videlka Exiles says Adam Kozlowski.
I have that one.
You have it?
I bought that too. I bought Exiles. I bought 3 books when I got my job just to get me through it. Like, it's a little, I got a job. And Exiles was one of them. Stunning.
Oh, awesome. And Chan, he's still alive. Why don't you ever crack at him, John?
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Is he really? I didn't realise.
Ange Honey, Melbourne photographer, says Heat by Paul Blackmore, who's an Aussie photographer from Sydney, I believe.
Oh,
so
wow.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you, everyone, for writing in.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. And thanks for everyone for listening. It's great.
Sorry there was no guest today. Just had to put up with us talking absolute bollocks. But I enjoyed this chat, John.
I'm going to call you out on the bollocks bit, Mark. I think it was highly educational today. If people can't take something away from our conversation, you're a numbnut.
And I've copyrighted the crack epidemic, so don't go out and steal my idea of them.
Look, everyone's going to go out and start photographing bum cracks. Just quickly before we go,
yes.
If anybody is available in Sydney, 7:45, check out their Instagram page, Roseau AU, of having Volume 3, and of if anyone knows what Roseau is, it's about the guerrilla style exhibition where images are projected onto a wall. Volume 3, 7:45. I forgot the street name. Let me have a look.
The only thing is, this comes out on a Friday morning, and it is, so if you're listening on Friday, it's this evening for one night only. So,
yeah, it's for one night only. Listen to you. For one night only.
If you're listening any other day, bad luck, you missed it.
It's Friday, the 17th of November. It's 7:45 to 8:45 at Wilmot Street, Sydney. And Wilmot Street is just off George Street.
Lovely.
Near Haymarket.
And
so if anyone's in Sydney,
boys,
go down.
Time to come to Melbourne. You've had 3 in Sydney. Enough's enough. Okay? Jump on the plane, come down here, set up, and
don't be stealing our. Don't look, just because you can't pull your finger out, you Melbourne boys, because you're all too bloody, tired and cold and wet. You know what I mean? Who's gonna? You can't even have anything electrical out in the street in Melbourne. It'll get wet and people will die. The insurance would be horrendous. Sydney, it's a beautiful day. It rains maybe for 10 minutes.
No.
A bit longer. Melbourne, it rains for like 23.5 hours a day.
Listen, there's more rainy days in Sydney per year than Melbourne, so don't give me that bollocks, okay?
Not since I've got here.
Well,
I brought the sunshine in my back pocket, not the crack. Crack of dawn. That's what you can call it.
No, to be serious, they have done an amazing job, the Roseau team, so well done. I wish I could make it. Obviously, I can't. It's on tomorrow night in Sydney. But yeah, if you are there, go and check it out.
And it's free. How many things in Sydney are free?
Nothing. Nout.
Nothing, mate. Nothing. That's the only bad thing about Sydney. Everything costs money. Apart from Roseau AU Volume 3. This Friday. Right, that's enough of a plug for them.
Okay. Well, John,
They're not paying for this.
Amazing chatting to you. We'll have a couple more guests this year, maybe, and then it's on to 2024. I've had an amazing year with you this year on the podcast. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to all our amazing guests. But we're coming to the end of the year, so a couple more to go, I think.
Yeah, just a few more to go, and it wouldn't be possible if we didn't have people wanting to listen to us. And the feedback that we've had is just been great to hear. Honestly, keep it coming. We really appreciate it. It's really nice to hear that people all around the world are really liking our style and what we're bringing, and the great guests sharing their stories and having great conversations with us. Because that's what it's all about, just a conversation. It's all about them, a little bit about us, more about them. And Sony.
No, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.
You have a good night, man. Thanks for tuning in.
See you, boy.
See you, mate. Take care. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Hope you liked the episode.
Have a good
give
one.
it a thumbs up. Give us a follow. Share it on your stories. Let everybody know. Spread the word.
Bye.
Bye.